everyone, it's Roshini of Glamazini.com, bringing you light and laughter par usual. Listen, I forgot to film the question and answer video for you guys. With all this social distancing stuff going on, I was literally downstairs like, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something else for Find Your Light, and there are videos that I filmed for you guys I have not put up. So let me pull up your questions right now, y'all, okay, and get it situated. Hopefully you guys are doing well. All my old school YouTubers will recognize this room. There's Funshine Bear. This is where my old videos used to be. And I probably should film in here more because I like this light. Yeah. Okay, let me find your questions. Full disclosure, my husband's working from home, so if you hear noise, as well, Zion is out of school, so if you hear noise, y'all know how this social distancing thing goes, okay? Not much has changed for me, honestly. It's pretty much my usual pattern of life with some breaks. Like, I don't have to take my son to therapy 4 times a week. Thank you. And we didn't go to church yesterday physically. So those are the differences, but my job is at home. My therapy appointment's on Thursday. That's not changing. My coaching calls are still happening. By the way, if you're not a part of Shine Group Coaching, what are you doing with your life? Especially now during this social distancing stuff. It's really been a wonderful community of women. And we are over there really helping each other get through this particular effort. So I'm going to link to Shine in the information box. Okay, let me find your questions. What started you on this journey of self-mastery? Okay, so for all of you guys that may or may not know, 2019 was my year of self-mastery. 2019 specifically. I get a bracelet made every year. I'm not wearing it because I'm just walking around the house. And it has my word of the year. And last year, my bracelet said mastery, as in self-mastery, as in God told me to worry about myself. And the question was, what started me on this journey? Well, what started me on the specific 2019 journey was a realization that I was a fixer. I was a fixer, and fixers have a tendency to be so worried about other people's issues and brokenness and trauma and fixing their stuff that they are neglectful of their own issues. And so I have put my hand in a stinging nettle nest, a bee's nest, as you all would say up here in the States, okay? A hot pot. I had burned up my hand several times, putting my hand and my nose and my business up in a space where I thought I was invited to be in, and I later found out in a very horrible way that I wasn't. And then I had this realization, like, you're doing this, and this is not producing good fruit. Sorry, you guys. Zion is down there playing a video game and losing his mind. I'm trying to listen to see what he's saying just to make sure he's not dying in real life. Okay. So that is what started me on the journey of self-mastery specifically for 2019, where I just felt like the Holy Spirit was telling me, girl, pull all the way back. Stop being so focused on all of the other humans that you don't worry about you. And that was a good thing and a bad thing. Okay. It made me really start realizing some serious things about my own story, my own trauma, my own upbringing that I had not taken an opportunity to even look into, because like I said, I was trained, and that was something I realized. I was brought up to fix other people's problems. It was part of what made me valuable in my family social structure. And I learned that in my year of self-mastery. And it's why I have a rescue spirit on me. And it's why I'm drawn to broken things and broken people and people who have experienced trauma, because I have a healer type of spirit on me. And so broken things are drawn to me, and I'm drawn to them. And there's so much more deep work that goes into that, and realization that goes into that. But hopefully that answers your question. Now, what started me on it the entire, like, years ago that I've been doing it, it's just my natural way of being. I don't know. It's how God made me. I am just absolutely always interested, always have been interested in personal development, in thinking higher, in living higher, in being beyond. I remember having deep conversations like this with my high school boyfriend. It's always been how I've thought. So I just feel like it's part of the gift God gave me. And over the years, he has expanded it into what you guys see today. Okay, hopefully that helps. Next question. How do you challenge limiting beliefs? More specifically, how do you change the way you think of yourself in a way where you can see the needle moving? Okay, so this is a great question. I did a series probably a couple years ago on this group now, maybe even 3 years ago, specifically about challenging limiting beliefs. But the one most powerful thing that I would say about challenging limiting beliefs is to learn how to separate yourself from your thoughts and your beliefs. That's the most powerful tool that I have had in the past few years. So we can walk around believing that we are what we think. When you have a thought, you think you're actually thinking that thought. I know or you believe that thought and you believe it to be truth. And one of the most powerful things that I have learned that has unlocked so much growth for me over the years is to separate who Roshini is from the thoughts or the beliefs that Roshini has. Two separate things. For example, I could walk around thinking that I'm ugly. If I believe my thought to be a true statement, a truth, I will operate in the world as though I am ugly. And it really doesn't matter what I look like. It doesn't matter what I look like. It doesn't matter if I am traditionally beautiful based off of my social cultural construct. It doesn't matter, because my belief is going to create my reality, right? Because I'm going to think that it's the truth. However, I could also walk around, conversely, and think that I'm ugly and then realize, that thought is separate from me. And that thought or that belief doesn't necessarily have to be a true statement. It can just be over there, a separate thing from me. And then the powerful part of being able to make that separation is I get to question whether it's true or not. So now I'm free to ask myself, is that true? Am I ugly? And then I get to go down the rabbit hole of, why would I come up with that? Is that a true statement? Da 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 da. And you could do that for everything. You could do that for beliefs about not being able to make money. You could do that for beliefs about not being able to find love or relationship or sustain relationship. You can do that for beliefs about not being able to start a business. You can do that for beliefs about losing weight. You could do that for beliefs about everything. Once you realize that a belief is not necessarily a truth, then you start to be able to question it. And so the way to answer your second part of your question, that you actually see the needle move, is you start questioning whether those things are actual truth or if they're just a thought that you had. And 9 times out of 9, it's just a thought that you have. Many are the random, ridiculous thoughts that come in and out of our head every day. And based off of your story, they may not always be the healthiest ones. And so challenging those things is going to become the thing that moves the needle, because it gives you the power to change things. And that's what I've learned. It's never a huge swing, although sometimes you may have what Oprah calls an aha moment, and you automatically wake up the next morning, look in the mirror, and you see beauty. But it becomes a gradual choice every single time one of those thoughts comes into your head to challenge it. Is it limiting you? Do you want the result that it's bringing you? And if you don't, is it actually true? And there are some really deep roots that we have to challenge in those spaces, because a lot of limiting beliefs that we have were passed down to us from people who we love and care about. And we almost feel like we're betraying them by challenging it. But as I always tell my Shine coaching group, check the fruit. Okay? Which means you might love mama, you may love grandma, okay? Uncle Roscoe and your cousins may be the closest people to your heart. But do you want the life that they've created? And if you don't, go ahead and check it. Go ahead and question that limiting belief. And it doesn't mean that you're disloyal. It just means that you have control over creating the type of life that you want. So hopefully that helps. Next question. Does your son ever express that he's tired of the doctors, the therapies, and wants a break? My son has epilepsy and sometimes doesn't want to go to the neurologist. And you know those appointments are hard to get. Absolutely. Okay, first of all, my son's schedule is pretty treacherous. You heard me say at the beginning of this video that I take my son to therapy 4 times a week outpatient. He also gets inpatient therapy in school. So he gets speech, physical, and occupational therapy in school. And then he has speech, physical, occupational, and seasonal swim therapy out of school. He also goes to soccer. So technically 5 different things a week. I don't take him to soccer though. Oh my God, I just do the 4, right? It's a lot. A lot of times he says he doesn't want to go because it's so repetitive, and it's Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday and Saturday of every single week. And he is a 7-year-old. He just wants to come into the house and play his video games. So he especially hates the one day that I have to take him off of the bus and put him immediately into the car and drive him to therapy. He hates that day because he's been at school all day. He wants to come home. He want to kick, just like us. He want to kick back. He want to lay back, play a little bit of Roblox, and then maybe go to therapy, but he hates that day. So he's always telling me that he's tired. And I try to tell him that, I'm tired too, because I'm honest. I try to tell him, but what mommy wants you to do is to work on the things that they're working with you on in therapy and start doing them at home, because the more you do them at home, the less we have to go to therapy. Now, only recently is he seeming to start to understand that, But still, I mean, it's human. I mean, I'm tired of going, so why wouldn't he be tired of going? Now, with respect to the doctor's appointments, the strange thing about my son is he absolutely loves going to the hospital because he just enjoys the children's hospital experience, as well as they have the best elevators, and he likes to play on elevators. Those are his favorite elevators. So in his mind, going to the hospital is really an opportunity to go play on the elevators that is interrupted by these stupid doctors that he has to go to, right? So that's kind of how he looks at it. We just went down there last week for his wheelchair evaluation. And during the evaluation, he was like, this is dumb. I don't want to be here. I want to go home. But during the elevator, it's exquisite. So I thank God for the fact that he loves going down to the children's hospital for the elevators. And that makes him like, he gets excited about that. But absolutely. I mean, think about it. Your kid's a person. You're exhausted, he's exhausted, everybody's exhausted. One of the things I tell my son all the time when he's just like, Mommy, I don't want to do this. I said no. And I'll be like, Boopy, I don't want to do it either. And then we both stare at each other like that. And he always looks confused. And then I explain to him, however, sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do. That's how life works. So let's be quick about this and let's go. And then we just go. It's a lesson to be learned, okay? This is how this thing goes down in these special needs streets. Last question is, how do you push through on the days that you just feel so done? I don't. On the days that I feel so done. Okay, that's a layered question. The first answer to that question is I don't. On the days that I feel done, I sit down somewhere and I take a break. Because if I feel done, it means that I'm exhausted somewhere. I need a break. My body, my mind, or my spirit is telling me I need a break, and I take a break. Now, the more layered answer to that question is I understand how I honor how I am built. I honor my depression diagnosis. I honor what makes me tired, what sucks my energy. I honor those things. I don't run from those things. I acknowledge them and I pay attention to them, and I build in recharges and breaks during my regular day so that I don't really ever get to the I don't feel like it anymore space that I used to get to. I used to get to that I can't do it anymore, I don't feel like it's space back in the day when I thought I had to meet a standard that was not of my own creation and that did not honor who I was. When I was keeping up with the Joneses or keeping up with the version of me that everybody else said I was supposed to be, then I used to run into those fully exhausted spaces. I don't really do it anymore. And that's why groups like this exist, because I'm trying to share with you guys some of the things that I've learned. I build things in to my day. I stop, I meditate, I pray. I used to take nighttime baths with all kind of smell goods that I have from TJ Maxx, and I'm probably gonna start doing it again during the social distancing thing. I burn candles. Sometimes I stop and I take naps. I stretch. I listen to funny videos. I do things to give myself the mental and physical breaks. Sorry, I'm listening to my son along the way so that I don't feel that way. Another thing that I've done is, as a special needs mom, you can get exhausted just on GP. And so a time or two during the year, I take breaks where I'm not doing any mom duties. So at the beginning of January, I went on a planning retreat here in St. Louis. I went and I got a hotel room all by myself. And for a couple nights, I didn't have to do anything with respect to my son. Last weekend, I drove to Wisconsin, on Friday, and came back on Monday to hang out with my friend. Once again, another opportunity for me to not have to do therapies and lift wheelchairs. I bake it into my life. And so I feel like when you take those opportunities to, one, not be governed by what the Joneses and everybody else tell you supposed to be, and literally be like, I don't care if everybody else can run themselves into the ground, I cannot. I don't care if everybody else says I'm supposed to wake up at 4:30 in the morning and go to sleep at 2, I cannot. I gotta get my rest. I don't care if everybody else says that they can do 45 things during the day, I cannot. I got 3 and a hot 4 possible in me, and that's it. When I started honoring who I actually was and creating my world and my life and my schedule and everything around me based off of who I actually am, that feeling that you described, I just heard something fall, went away. So anyway, let me wrap this video up because I just heard something fall, and I hope that wasn't my kid. Nobody's screaming, so hopefully he's alive. I will do another video for you guys like this next month. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Okay, you guys. Bye.